The terrifying moments a gunman opened fire at an outlet mall near Dallas. At least 8 people killed. Investigators are looking at this disturbing dash cam video that shows the moment the alleged gunman stepped out of a car and started shooting. Families running for their lives. And video captures the moment a mall worker leads customers to shelter. Sources tonight identifying the suspect as a 33-year-old man. A local police officer is being called a hero for taking him down. And what we're learning about that suspect's past. ABC News has confirmed the identity of one of the victims tonight, Christian LaCour. His sister says the 20-year-old worked at the mall, calling him a really sweet kid. President Biden says the attack is too shocking to be so familiar and has ordered flags flown at half staff. This marks the 199th mass shooting in the U.S. so far this year. ABC's Matt Gutman leads us off tonight from Allen, Texas.
That deadly shooting rampage sending families and children running in terror from a man with an AR-style rifle at a Texas outlet mall. 8 killed, 7 others wounded late Saturday.
We got shots fired at the mall.
Investigators are reviewing graphic video showing the gunman stepping out of a car and opening fire on people on the sidewalk at the Allen Premium Outlets north of Dallas.
There's this guy dressed in all black, wearing a vest, has an assault rifle, and he's just shooting at people.
The crackle of gunfire sending hundreds of shoppers scattering. Surveillance video showing a worker leading customers into a service corridor for safety. These employees taking cover.
I hid behind a freezer, and everybody thought that we were doomed.
Quatina Ellie says she sheltered in a fitting room, the gunman firing at her parents, who survived.
They began to run, and they both fell to the ground. Maybe he thought that he had shot them, so he turned the gun and began shooting in the other direction where there were a lot of people.
Stephen Spainhour's son worked at the mall, the father a former Army officer, at the scene within 6 minutes.
It was a horrific scene, very horrific.
Spainhour trying to help the wounded, but for some, it was too late.
You arrived on the scene and you immediately saw 3 deceased people who had been shot dead and this little boy.
There was more than 3. I was on the operator, I was counting bodies, and I told her I've got 7 bodies, I need 7 ambulances, and she's like, what? I don't know if we have that many. I said, however many you can get, start 7, we may need more, because I don't know where the shooter is. The guy told me.
What was the state of this little boy? You said he was about 4 years old?
Yeah, he's 4 or 5, and he was underneath some of the adults. They fell on top of him. He managed to get out, and he was covered in blood, so I got him to a safe spot so I could get him out first.
Then just after 3:30 p.m., an Allen police officer in the area on a different call running towards the gunfire.
He heard gunshots, located the gunshot, located the shooter, neutralized the shooter, neutralized the threat.
He's alone, and you can hear him on the police radio calling for backup.
Everybody, I got.
Minutes later saying he'd taken down the shooter. Police evacuating shoppers, hundreds seen walking with their hands up. And there were reunions, many of them like Spainhour's, tearful.
Stephen, what was that first hug like with your son, who you must have been so worried about?
Didn't want to let go for a few minutes. His mom and I did not want to let go.
The wounded rushed to multiple hospitals. 3 remain in critical condition tonight. 8 people tragically losing their lives, the victims ranging in age from 5 to 61 years old. Overnight, investigators searching the suspect's home in Dallas. Tonight, law enforcement sources telling ABC News the suspect has been identified as 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia.
We believe at this point that the shooter acted alone. We are asking for the public's help if you are a witness.
This is the second mass shooting in Texas in just over a week. Last week, a gunman killing 5 people in Cleveland, Texas, also with an AR-style rifle after he was asked by his neighbors to stop shooting in his yard. Today, Texas Governor Greg Abbott addressing critics of the state's gun laws.
We've seen an increased number of shootings in states with easy gun laws as well as states with very strict gun laws. And what Texas is doing in a big-time way, we are working to address that anger and violence by going to its root cause, which is addressing the mental health problems behind it.
Governor Abbott regularly blames mental health, not the gun laws. Matt Gutman joins us now from the scene. And Matt, the investigation now underway. Any word on a possible motive?
Authorities are telling us that right now, Lindsay, the motive is still undetermined, but they're digging intensely into the suspect's background. They tell us that in 2008, he was discharged from the Army over mental health concerns. They're also poring over his social media history, finding hundreds of racially motivated posts. And on his body, after he was killed in that building just behind me, they say they found a patch with white supremacist insignia.